PYX 106.
1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com.
Chaz Farcher pinch hitting for Paul Harding this morning. What's happening, man?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, we're doing well, man. Did you get out and enjoy the beautiful weather at all yesterday?
Oh, my God. I was actually home because we had a birthday on Sunday, so I took off yesterday as well, and it was 2 back-to-back beautiful days.
You're one of those guys, huh, Chaz? I think everybody should get their birthday off. Really? Really? Clearly you're not employed. I'm trying to run a company here. You guys are taking your birthdays off?
I work for an amazing employer that gives us our birthdays off.
Oh, they do?
I'm taking it.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. That employer happens to be a big sponsor of the Quinnicantera radio program.
So what is it, Paul's birthday today? Where is he?
Another great question,
Right?
Yeah, Chaz. Let's talk about Dante. This situation on the Lark, which is just a messed up deal, and it's
Dante Ivey, right?
Let's remember, he got hit by a taser because of suspicious activity and then died. It's all these police deaths and accidental shootings leading to death. It's we gotta separate every single one of these things. But the question I have is, when they say suspicious activity, what do they ever have to tell us what that suspicious activity is? And do we know what it is? What is suspicious activity? What should I avoid doing without, not wanting to get pulled over by the popo?
Right, so just to recap, you had Donald Ivey on April 2nd, who was stopped by the police. They tried to ask him some questions, and apparently some kind of struggle ensued. He was tased at least once. There was a physical altercation, and then there was a foot chase. They apprehended him, and then during that apprehension, apparently he suffered some kind of medical emergency, and then shortly thereafter he died at Albany Medical Center about 35 minutes after the struggle had begun. So I guess to answer your question, the police can always stop you where they have reasonable suspicion that you've done something, that there's some kind of crime committed, or that something's going on. So they usually can't just stop you just for no reason whatsoever. There's got to be some kind of suspicion or some kind of report, to stop you and ask you for identification. Otherwise, you don't have to.
Will we find out what that is, though, with this situation?
Well, is suspicious activity being a black man being out at midnight? I mean, is that enough? Because that seems wrong to me.
I don't think that legally that is enough.
Well, that's because they've never told us what the activity it is, suspicious activity is, Chaz.
That's what you're thinking.
I'm left here for several weeks now thinking, what was it? Was it that?
Yeah, and I don't think, that's not enough, and I don't think that's the case. What will happen is the DA's involved, so they'll do an investigation. I think, whenever you have these instances, you look at Ferguson, Missouri, you look at the stuff that's going on in Charleston, I think the police at this point are always reluctant to kind of put forth a lot of the details until they get everything lined up. You don't want to speak too soon and then have missed some details or have some things wrong. So, it's only been a few weeks, which seems like a long time to us, but in hindsight or in the grand scheme of things, when you look at a lot of these other cases, you had Nakreem Moore, which was an Albany case back in 2012. That took a couple months to go to the grand jury before we really knew all of the details, and the police were cleared of any wrongdoing in that instance. You had in 2011, you had the Chad Brothers case where the guy was tased several times in Gold's Gym and died. That took a couple months to get all of the details out to us. I think it's really when you have these types of deaths, you want to make sure you get all the details nailed down before you start releasing things to people piecemeal, and it turns out this is wrong or that's wrong.
Here's what I know. If you go any time of day in that section of Lark Street, if you're driving down there, there's some suspicion. I mean, it has nothing to do with black or white. It's just like, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Doors are open, people are running, and there's all kinds of, anything could be possible. Anything could be happening that would arouse suspicion. So I just want to make sure that we're not profiling. You know what I mean? That's my only concern.
Yeah, usually, for the police to make the stop, they've got to have some kind of report in that area. There's got to be a report that some type of crime was just committed, or a car was broken into, or somebody reports a drug sale, or something like that, or the guy that they stopped matches the description of somebody they've been looking for some period of time. Something like that is usually enough to supply reasonable suspicion to at least stop the person and just ask them, hey, what's your name? Who are you? Ask for identification. And then before they can actually make an arrest, there's got to be something more than that. Probable cause, somebody witnesses. You actually witness something. You actually see a crime take place. So I don't know what the details are or what led to the altercation initially, and I don't know that we will know until the district attorney's office finishes their investigation and things either do or don't go in front of a grand jury, depending upon what they find. I do know that it's a tough job, and it's
Absolutely.
easy Monday morning quarterback. I think it's hard when you're talking about, in the grand scheme of things, these things happen over.
Says that on my business card, Monday morning quarterback.
So we got to wait, and we got to let the cops and the DA do the investigation.
Yep.
In the meantime, we try not to Monday morning quarterback, but like Quinn said, it's kind of our gig here.
That's what we do.
Not to cause panic or hatred, but to ask questions.
And everybody, not just us.
Yeah, not just
everybody
us.
in
No,
the country is
right,
the
right
Monday
on.
morning quarterbacking. Thank you, Chaz. We appreciate it, buddy.
pal.
All right, gentlemen. Have a great day.
You too, man. 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com.
Chaz Fartram from Martin Harding and Mazzotti.
Quinn and Cantera, mornings on PYX 106.